Ames is a city in Iowa, probably a very pretty place. Why do we care about Ames? When machine learning students used to start with supervised learning, they needed a data set, and the go-to data set was something called Boston housing data. But there wasn't that much information on Boston housing. It wasn't a very rich data set with which to educate ourselves about how to do supervised learning, linear regression, and all that. Professor Dean Lecoq at Truman State University created a new and much richer data set based on house prices in Ames, and that's what we're going to be using. The data set contains information on almost 3,000 houses, the prices at which those houses sold, as well as around 80 pieces of information that describe each house. We will call these pieces of information features. Our job is going to be to try to predict the value at which a house will sell given the features. Before we dive into this kind of modeling, it is worthwhile being aware that these kinds of model can be misused and abused and end up disadvantaging certain sectors of society, certain regions, in particularly unpleasant ways. I strongly recommend that you read the book Weapons of Math Destruction. I'll give you the link in the reading material for week 2. When you're looking at any data set, it's worthwhile being aware that there are 4 kinds of variables, and you need to think carefully how your model is going to treat each of those variables and whether it makes sense. There are numeric variables, and within numeric variables there are continuous variables. For example, in our data that would be how big is the lot, how many square feet of living space is the house itself. Next we have discrete numeric variables such as the number of kitchens, bedrooms, bathrooms. Those are integers. Next we have categorical variables. Consider, for example, the kind of path that leads up to the house. Is it gravel, or is it paved, or is it concrete? Or we might have the name of the neighborhood of the city in which this house is located. These are categorical variables that have no inbuilt order. They are called nominal. And finally, we have categorical variables where the order does matter. For example, the quality of various aspects of the property, which might be given as low, medium, or high, or it might be given in a scale 0 to 5, where clearly the order of that scale is imparting some information. That's really all we need. I think we are now ready to jump in and have a look at the data.